If you have ventured onto the path of spirituality and personal growth, you've probably noticed the meaningful coincidences that appear in your life have increased tenfold. You see, as we awaken, our belief systems about what we thought we knew about reality begin to dissolve, and we come to realize that this world is far more mysterious than we were originally led to believe. Everything in existence is interconnected and therefore responding to one another. As a result, it seems that we are constantly being communicated with by creation at large. Patterns can occur, as if by design, and those patterns can be absolutely astonishing if you have eyes to see them. We often fall into an illusion in our day to day life, a matrix. We forget the deeper truth of who we really are, and we find ourselves lost in identification with physical life, lost behind the veil of physical experience itself. Yet, synchronicities come to teach us and guide us, and often they can serve as magical, mystical reminders, tiny little wake up calls of a divine force at play, a bigger picture of what is going on beyond what we see with our physical eyes.
So I first came to know about the concept of synchronicity when I was actually at university studying criminal psychology, and we were introduced to the work of the famous psychologist Carl Jung. And he referred to synchronicity as a meaningful coincidence of two or more events where something other than the probability of chance is involved. So Jung explained that these meaningful coincidences or synchronicities bring messages much like dreams do. And it wasn't until my last year of university that I actually started experiencing or noticing these synchronicities. This is around the time that life as I knew it was beginning to completely crumble. And I found that my experience of reality was becoming very dreamlike. I mean, it's funny because I was waking up from the dream of physical life. I was waking up in the dream. Yet my world simultaneously was actually becoming very magical and dreamlike. I started to realize that, these meaningful coincidences were transpiring externally, but I could actually see that they only had personal significance to me and what was going on in my world internally. So I was seeing moments of alignment between my inner state and my outer world. So these mysterious happenings only confirmed what I was actually learning about at the time. Um, Various universal spiritual principles, was commonly known as the law of attraction, talking about like the principle of mentalism, the principle of vibration, the principle of correspondence. I was learning about all these kind of inner workings of the universe, and it was totally just showing me, yes, yes, yes. It was giving me like a big green light, like this is real. And, no matter how rational I actually tried to be, it got to the point where these events that were playing out were like totally beyond chance or random happenings. And I was actually left in like awe and wonder and absolute amazement at what was actually unfolding in my life. And to this day, I am still given goosebumps at the synchronicities that unfold in my life. So I want to give you some examples of synchronicity, some that have unfolded in my own world, and also just what to look out for, basically. So number one, which I really, really, really love, it just gives me this magical fuzzy feeling, is numerical synchronicity. So you've got things like repeating numbers, especially 1111. 1111 does carry this kind of mysticism around it. It's almost as if it is plonked in the reality of people's lives who are starting to wake up when they are getting this call to start meditating, to start going inwards, to start learning about more spiritual kind of mystical concepts. This number crops up in their life, and it is weird. Like, I'm sure that skeptics could have something to say about this, but unless you actually really experience that magical feeling that you get when you see this number, like, yeah, it is something completely otherworldly, and the likelihood it can be very, very, very strange. I mean, like I won't check my phone for 3 hours, and then the one time I pick it up and it's 11:11, and I've got a big smile on my face. I could be sat in a car or something, and I'm thinking, oh, what should I do that? Should I do that? And then suddenly I see like 11:11 bus or something, and I'm like, okay, that's my confirmation. The other day I went to see what time it was in my friend's country, and it was 11:11. And I looked to see what time, or I accidentally saw what time I'd taken a picture that I really liked, and it was at 11:11. It's just everywhere, and there's no universal meaning as such as to what it actually means. However, pay attention more to like what it means to you, because that's what it means. Like, these numbers, they carry their own meanings according to what we actually feel that they mean at the end of the day. And it doesn't just have to be repeating numbers. It can be like repeating animals, seeing the same animal in a certain period of time through different mediums. It could be like a particular teaching that just kind of keeps cropping up. It's like, oh, okay, maybe I should probably check out this teaching. Ooh, it's a sun ray. It's a rainbow. Super sweet that the rainbow came when I'm talking about this kind of stuff. So yeah, the way that synchronicity can also work as well is that it kind of works through information, like kind of information coming at the right time through a myriad of different sources. And it's the information that we need. Like a repeating theme, for example, it can happen through people. People give us the information, experiences that unfold, that teach us the lessons, or that give us the information we need. It can come through song lyrics. It could come through opening a book at a random page. It can be a bit confusing to differentiate between what is spiritual guidance and what is synchronicity. And I would say that they overlap. Are they not the same thing in a way? You obviously have inner spiritual guidance with intuitive pushes and pulls and downloads of information that just kind of pop into our awareness and meditation and things like that. But you have this outer guidance as well, and synchronicity, it's this outer guidance, really. Many people may feel that a certain spiritual energy, this kind of unseen energy, is communicating with us through synchronicity. Whatever you believe to be true is true, so feel into what resonates for you. And you can totally play with synchronicity. You can interact with this sea of vibration around us. You can interact with reality, and you can actually set intentions to actually receive communications and answers, and you will get answers through synchronicity. Just pay particular attention to what is unfolding in your outer world, and creation will give you exactly what you need. So along my journey of actually deepening my connection to myself, my internal guidance system, and the world around me, I've actually noticed that themes crop up in my life, whether it's for a month or a week or however long. These themes are kind of presented to me through my inner guidance system and through outer guidance, through synchronicity and things like that. For example, I was recently led on a journey of opening my heart, and the right experiences, books, and people came into my life through this divine orchestration. I kind of find like synchronicity is like a highlighter pen, basically, and it highlights reoccurring themes led by synchronistic events. And I use that as a clear sign of current themes to work on within my personal journey. So just look for these reoccurring patterns. Don't look too hard. You don't want to look for things that aren't there, but just be mindful of things that keep cropping up. Write them down, write these themes down, and then see what's being delivered to you. Now, when I make a YouTube video, like every single time I'll put that intention in, I'll think, oh, I want to do a YouTube video about that. And then suddenly I'll get this influx of information presented to me via a myriad of different sources, whether it's a life lesson, whether it's a person, whether it's through a randomly suggested YouTube video. The other day I was walking in the forest and I found a bit of paper on the floor. Someone had written a poem on a piece of paper, and it was perfect for what I was currently working on. Like, who knows how you will receive it? The universe works in mysterious ways, so let go of how you're going to receive messages, how you're going to attract using the law of attraction, how you're actually going to attract this information into your world, because you have got no idea how it will come.
Sometimes synchronicity can be shocking and loud, and sometimes it can be subtle, but pay attention because creation is communicating with us all the time. If you have eyes to see, you will see it, and when you see it, it will continue to multiply, almost as if it knows that you are listening. So pay attention and watch the magic of the unseen worlds unfold in your earthly experience.
In the grand scheme of things, I wouldn't even be sat here right now making this video if it wasn't for a grand series of synchronicities that have unfolded in the past 8 years, ever since I started waking up to synchronicity. Obviously, I've had inner guidance, yes, but I've also had outer guidance that this is where I'm supposed to be through synchronicity. This is an interesting synchronicity that I experienced the day that I actually made my first ever YouTube video. I was on my way back from a yoga class in Mexico, and I was trying to psych myself up to do it, just come on, you can do this, Jazz, right? This is the day you're going to make your first video. And as I was having these thoughts, I walked past, let me just take you around. I walked past a shop in the street, and I looked through the window and I saw this YouTuber that I've been following for like my whole YouTube lifetime. His YouTube name is Dakota of Earth. You guys might know him. I saw him through the window, and I was like, of all the days in my lifetime that I could have seen him, I've seen him today. And this is a guy that I kind of, at the time, probably, he inspired me a lot to make YouTube videos. So that for me was the absolute confirmation. No, I did not go up to him. I'm actually quite shy. But I didn't need to go up to him because I just knew that that was that confirmation. And that's the beautiful thing about synchronicity. It actually it can really help you to transcend your fear. It can hold you in your times of need and comfort you. It's like this kind of personal secret joke or secret pattern that only you and creation knows about. And it knows that this is going to give you what you need. Yes, information, but sometimes confirmation, just a hug. So it actually makes me emotional to think about dragonflies, because over the years, I have had this repeating pattern whereby a dragonfly will appear in my world, a real dragonfly, in times of great distress and emotional turmoil. In that moment, a dragonfly will come into my room. I've been in the middle of Kathmandu having a bit of a do, and a dragonfly has come in the middle of a polluted city. I still feel like this falls into the category of synchronicity because, again, it is this repeating pattern. And Spirit knows that this beautiful mystical little dragonfly is going to bring me some kind of angelic hug, some kind of transcendental spiritual hug, telling me that everything is going to be okay. Oh, also Bob Marley, every little thing is going to be all right. That also comes as well in times of emotional need. And usually that song crops up at kind of funny times, like when I'm in the dentist chair or something. I'm like, this really hurts. And then suddenly Bob Marley will start playing. But it's just this repeating pattern that it has this meaning to you, and it gives you this feeling when it happens. Okay, so I'm just embracing the rays now. So another thing I want to mention is that there is a common misconception that these synchronicities are always guiding us towards something that is going to make us feel good. And we have to remember that a lot of the time, yes, this is the case, but it's not always going to be the case. We are only ever given the experience that we need, basically. One of my favorite quotes from Eckhart Tolle: how do you know this is the experience you need? Because it is the experience you are having. And so, from a soul perspective, good and bad are simply vibrational frequencies. And from our human perspective, we may not see how a negative experience could possibly benefit us, but we must consider the bigger picture here. And the bigger picture, only a deeper aspect of us can know. The ego cannot know this. So we have to trust. And if you look back at your negative experiences, you may see that positives eventually came out of them. Everything is leading us to our destiny.
So, since you are watching this video, it means that you have eyes to see a synchronicity. Reality is incomprehensible and it is wonderfully magnificent beyond words. Who knows how all of this works, but it is working and it is working for us.
If you want like a sudden kind of influx or explosion of synchronicity, I really recommend reading a book called The Celestine Prophecy by James Redfield. So I was actually traveling Sri Lanka at the time of reading this book, and I was totally amazed to see that as I would read a chapter, it would then play out in my external experiences. The insight that I was actually learning would then transpire into my outer world, and through some kind of divine orchestration, I would be able to practice what I had just learned. And it was freaky. Like, it really actually helped me to kind of establish, it gave me a lot of evidence to really kind of establish my beliefs in, you know, this kind of divine order and something greater at work happening. So there is another classic as well called The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. That's also a really, really great book, a little bit less cheesy, but they are both awesome books. Creation wants you to wake up. It wants to guide you. So see and hear its guidance and let this magic unfold in your life. I mean, it's all part of the journey of being a mystic at the end of the day. So enjoy. And thank you so much for watching this video. Please comment below if you want to share any of your own synchronicities. Yeah, my name's Jasmine. Please like and subscribe. I offer 25-minute one-on-one sessions if you want to just chat with me. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye 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 bye.